10 signs you're emotionally intelligent, even if you don't know it. Let's be real. Emotional intelligence sounds like a fancy psychology term. But in reality, it shows up in the small stuff. The way you handle drama, how you bounce back after stress, how you treat people on a bad day. And get this, you might be emotionally intelligent, without even knowing it. Not because you have a PhD or read psychology books, but because of how you live, how you connect, and how you think through life's everyday chaos. Today, we're breaking down the 10 signs that show you're emotionally intelligent, even if no one's ever called it that. If you recognize yourself in most of these, you're operating on a higher level than most people realize. And the best part? These skills make life smoother, relationships better, and challenges easier to manage. Let's jump in. Sign number 1. You think before you react. You feel a rush of emotion, anger, frustration, sadness. But instead of snapping, yelling, or doing something you'll regret, you stop. You breathe. You wait. Maybe you respond a few minutes later, maybe not at all. That's emotional intelligence. Specifically, emotional regulation. Reacting is easy. Responding with control? That takes real strength. Emotional intelligence means knowing that not every emotion deserves a reaction. Sometimes silence is power. Sometimes waiting is wisdom. If you're someone who doesn't let your emotions run the show, you're already ahead. You're not bottling things up, you're choosing the right moment, the right words, and the right energy. That's next-level self-awareness. Sign number 2. You read the room instinctively. You walk into a space and you just know something's off. No one said anything. No one told you. But you can feel it. Maybe it's tension, maybe it's excitement. You notice the shifts that most people miss. That's called social awareness. A key part of emotional intelligence. It means you're tuned into other people's emotions, not just your own. You pick up on body language, tone, energy. You know when to speak, when to back off, when someone needs help even if they say they're fine. It's not about being psychic. It's about paying attention. And people with high EQ do this naturally. If you're someone who notices the unspoken stuff, you've got something special. Sign number 3. You face difficult conversations head-on. You don't run from hard conversations. You don't ghost, dodge, or sugarcoat just to avoid discomfort. You show up. You speak up. Emotionally intelligent people don't enjoy conflict, but they don't fear it either. They know tough conversations are part of real relationships. If someone hurt you, you say it. If someone crosses a line, you let them know. Not to fight. Not to blame. But to be honest, respectful, and clear. This takes courage. It also takes empathy. Because when you address conflict with calm and kindness, you're proving you care about the relationship more than your ego. That's emotional intelligence in action. Sign number 4. You know when to walk away. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is leave. Whether it's a toxic friendship, a draining job, or an unhealthy pattern, you know when it's time to move on. Not out of anger. Not out of fear. But from a place of self-respect. Emotionally intelligent people don't cling to what hurts them. They don't stay just to please others or avoid being alone. They understand when something no longer serves their peace. If you've walked away from things that no longer align with who you are, that's emotional maturity. You're not being cold. You're being clear. And that clarity comes from within. Sign number 5. You apologize without being forced. You mess up. We all do. But instead of making excuses, shifting blame, or waiting to be called out, you apologize. Not because you were pressured. Not because someone made you feel guilty. But because you genuinely want to make it right. That's emotional intelligence. It shows you can step outside your ego. It shows you care about how your actions affect others. And it means you're strong enough to say, I was wrong. An honest apology can save a friendship, heal a relationship, end a misunderstanding. If you do this naturally, you're operating with a high level of emotional integrity. Sign number 6. You can name your emotions. You don't just say, I'm mad. You know you're actually disappointed, disrespected, or overwhelmed. You go deeper. This is called emotional literacy. Being able to name what you feel, and why. It might sound simple, but it's a big deal. Because when you name your emotions, you take control of them. You don't push them down. You understand them. And when you understand what you feel, you make better choices. You communicate more clearly. You avoid unnecessary drama. If you've ever paused and said, this isn't just sadness, this is burnout, that's emotional intelligence at work. Sign number 7. You don't take things personally. Someone snaps at you. Someone ignores your message. You could spiral. But you don't. Instead, you pause and ask, is this really about me? Emotionally intelligent people don't let other people's behavior define their self-worth. They understand that most of the time, People act from their own stress, pain, or issues. If you've learned not to take everything to heart, you've built emotional resilience. That means you can stay grounded even when things get messy. You're not cold. You're strong. You don't make someone else's storm your home. Sign number 8. You can hold space for others. When someone you care about is hurting, you don't rush to fix them. You don't make it about you. You listen. You sit with them. You hold space. This is one of the highest forms of emotional intelligence. Holding space means being fully present. No advice. No judgment. Just presence. It takes patience. It takes empathy. And it makes people feel seen and safe. If you're the kind of person people turn to when they're going through something hard, it's because your emotional intelligence makes them feel supported. Sign number 9. You understand your triggers. We all have triggers, those moments that spark strong emotional reactions. But emotionally intelligent people don't let those reactions control them. They notice them. They explore them. They ask, where is this coming from? If you've ever caught yourself mid-spiral and said, this is about more than what just happened, that's a sign of growth. You understand your patterns. You work on healing. You know that self-awareness isn't about shame, it's about power. Sign number 10. You celebrate others without envy. Someone gets a promotion, a new relationship, a win. And instead of feeling jealous, you feel happy for them. That's emotional intelligence. You don't see other people's success as your failure. You know there's enough room for everyone. If you can genuinely root for people, even when you're still waiting on your own breakthrough, that says everything about your character. And when your time comes, you'll know how to handle it with humility and grace. So here's the truth. Emotional intelligence isn't loud. It doesn't need attention. It shows up quietly, powerfully, in how you move through the world. If you saw yourself in most of these signs, give yourself credit. You're doing the work. You're growing, healing, leading with heart. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep showing up with self-awareness, kindness, and strength. Now tell me in the comments, which of these signs resonated most with you? What's something you're working on emotionally? If you found value in this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone you care about, and hit subscribe for more deep dives like this one. Thanks for watching. Stay grounded, stay kind, and keep growing. See you in the next one.